Xin Chào, hello, and welcome back to Vietnam Exposed. I'm your host, a Saigon native, a witness to pain, and a voice for stories that cut deeper than I can ever explain. This isn't just a channel, it's a confession, a cry, a record of what I've seen with my own eyes and carried in my heart. These are tales I've held back for years, too raw to tell until this moment. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell, because what you're about to hear isn't easy. It's real, it's heavy, and it's the truth. Today's story, Orphans of the Plague, is one that broke me, and it might break you too. Take a deep breath. This is Saigon, 2021. At its darkest. Chapter 1, A Call That Stopped Me Cold. By late 2021, Nam and I were running on fumes. The calls for help never stopped. Texts, please, whispers from every corner of Saigon. We need food. We're out of rice. The kids are starving. We'd hit boarding houses, alleys, whole neighborhoods locked behind wire, delivering what we could: rice, noodles, greens, anything to keep people alive. Every day was a blur of mud, sweat, and stories that stuck to me like bears. But one message, one single cry for help, stopped me dead in my tracks. It came through a friend who knew someone who knew someone, a chain of desperation reaching out from a small house in District 10. 3 kids, 5, 7, and 12, alone, hungry, and lost. No parents, no food, no one to cook. I read the note twice, then called Nam. Brother, I said, voice tight. This one's different. We've got to go. He didn't ask questions. When? Now. I dug into the details as we prepped. 2 weeks earlier, their dad had been hauled off to a quarantine camp in Thursday Duke, a sprawling district on the city's edge. A week after that, their mom was taken too, shipped to a different camp in District 12. Miles away. Left behind were the kids, a 5-year-old girl with big eyes and no words, a 7-year-old boy too small for his age, and a 12-year-old sister trying to hold it all together. Their uncle, a college kid living with them, stayed too. But he was useless in the kitchen. Couldn't boil water, let alone feed 3 mouths. Next door, their aunt, the mom's older sister, tried to step in. She'd cook rice, maybe a little soup, and pass it over the fence every day. But she was drowning too. Lockdowns had drained her pantry, she barely had enough gao to keep her own family going. And the littlest one, the 5-year-old, she needed sewer, milk, to grow, to survive. They didn't have it. Chapter 2, A Tragedy Unfolds. I couldn't shake their story as we loaded the cars, my Pajero and Nam's Savi, creaking under the weight of supplies. We'd scraped together what we could: rice, instant noodle cups, canned fish, a bundle of ramwong from a donor, and, crucially, cartons of boxed milk. That little girl's face, imagined but real, haunted me. 5 years old. No milk. No mom. Then came the punch I didn't see coming. Halfway to District 10, my phone buzzed with an update from the friend who'd flagged us. The dad's gone. She texted. Died in Thursday Duke last week. I gripped the wheel, knuckles white. What about the mom? I typed back, dread pooling in my gut. A minute later, her too. District 12. A few days ago, I pulled over, rain smacking the windshield, and just sat there. 2 parents, gone in a week, ripped apart by the virus in separate camps, miles from each other. They didn't even know. The dad didn't know his wife was dying. The mom didn't know her husband was already ash. Quarantine rules were brutal. If you died in the camps, You were cremated fast. No goodbyes. No ceremony. Ashes got stored in some warehouse, waiting for families to claim them, if they ever could. But these kids, 5, 7, 12, they didn't know. No one had told them. Their world had collapsed. And they were still waiting for mom and dad to come home. I wiped my eyes, started the engine, and called Nam. They're orphans now, I said, voice cracking. We're all they've got today. Chapter 3, The House of Shadows. District 10 was a maze of narrow streets. But we found the place, a squat, peeling house squeezed between two others, its windows dark. Nam pulled up behind me, and we stepped out into the drizzle. Masks on. Hearts heavy. The aunt met us at the gate. A thin woman with tired eyes and a voice barely above a whisper. "You're the ones?" she asked. I nodded. "We brought food. Milk too." She led us to the fence, pointing to the house next door. "They're in there," she said. "I've been trying. But..." Her voice trailed off, hands twisting a rag. "I've got kids of my own. We're down to scraps." I handed her a bag, rice, noodles, some greens. "Take this. We'll handle them." The uncle opened the door, a lanky kid, maybe 20, with messy hair and a lost look. Behind him, 3 small figures hovered in the gloom. The 12-year-old, a girl with braids, stood tallest, arms crossed like she was guarding something. The 7-year-old boy peeked out, clutching a stuffed bear missing an eye. And the 5-year-old, she just sat on the floor, staring at nothing. A tiny shadow in a too-big shirt. "Hey," I said softly, kneeling at the threshold. "We've got stuff for you. Food. Milk. Okay?" The 12-year-old nodded, stepping forward. "Thanks," she mumbled, voice flat. She took the first bag, milk cartons on top, and passed it back to her brother. I watched her, this kid playing mom, and felt my throat tighten. Chapter 4, A Fragile Lifeline. We unloaded everything, 10 kilos of rice, a stack of noodle cups, canned fish, greens, and every milk carton we could fit. The uncle fumbled with the bags, muttering about how he'd figure something out. "I can't cook," he admitted, scratching his neck. "But I'll try." The aunt chimed in from the fence. "I'll keep bringing rice when I can. They're my sister's kids." Her voice broke on sister, and I knew she hadn't told them either. I looked at the 5-year-old again, now holding a milk carton like it was a treasure. "You like that?" I asked. She nodded, barely, and took a sip. It was the first spark I'd seen in her eyes. The 7-year-old tore into a noodle cup, dry and raw, crunching it like candy. "We haven't eaten today," the 12-year-old said. Matter of fact. "Yesterday. Just rice." I wanted to stay, to sit with them, to tell them it'd be okay. But I couldn't, not yet. We added a few extra bags for the neighbors, handed the aunt another share, and stepped back. "We'll check on you," I promised. "Hang in there." The 12-year-old just stared, her silence louder than words. Chapter 5, The Weight of the Night. That wasn't the end of the day. Back in the car, Nam and I got a call. A truckload of veggies was rolling into Nabi, a southern district, at midnight. No dock workers, no hands to unload. "We've got to do it," I told him. "People need this." He groaned but agreed. "Home first, then we go." I got back early, kissed my son's forehead as he slept, and ignored my wife's worried frown. "Just a few hours," I said. "I'll be back." She didn't argue this time, just handed me a thermos of coffee. At 11 p.m., Nam and I rolled out again, headlights cutting through the dark to Nabi. The truck arrived late, 12:30 a.m. loaded with potatoes, cabbage, carrots. We turned into laborers, hauling sacks under a flickering street lamp, mud sucking at our shoes. Every bag felt heavier than the last. But we kept going, stacking them high for pickup crews to distribute later. News trickled in as we worked, more deaths in the camps. More names lost to the virus. Thursday Duke. District 12. Everywhere. I paused, wiping sweat from my eyes, and thought of those kids. Orphans now. Waiting in a house too quiet. Sipping milkweed brought. Not knowing their world was ash. Fear crept in, fear of the virus. Of failing them. Of this never ending. But I shook it off. We're Vietnamese. I muttered to Nam. We don't quit. He clapped my shoulder. Never. Chapter 6, A Promise Kept. By 2 a.m. the truck was empty. And we were done, bodies aching, spirits bruised. I drove home slow. Saigon's silence pressing in. And crashed into bed. But those kids stayed with me, their faces. Their loss. Their fight. We'd given them a day. Maybe a week. Of survival. It wasn't enough. But it was something. This isn't the end of their story, or mine. Saigon in 2021 was a graveyard of dreams. But it was also a forge of strength. I've got more to tell, more tears. More battles. More lives hanging by a thread. This is Vietnam Exposed. And I'm here to keep the fire burning. One truth at a time. Narrator, you. That's today's story, Orphans of the Plague. If it hit you. If it hurt. Don't turn away. Subscribe to Vietnam Exposed. Hit that bell. And stay with me. These aren't just tales, they're the blood and bones of Saigon. Of Vietnam. Of us. Next time. I'll bring you another heartbreak. Another fight. Another piece of this broken world. Until then. Hold tight. Keep listening. And I'll see you soon. CAM on. Thank you. And good night.